Imagine a king who is so legendary yet almost never sets foot in the land he leads. He was more fluent in the language of his enemies than the language of his own people. His name is remembered as the greatest knight. But behind the glow of his armor lies a story of ambition, family betrayal, and ironic death on a trivial battlefield. This is the story of a man who chose to become a legend rather than a king. Richard I, the Lionheart 1157 to 1199, is a walking paradox. Born in England, he was raised in the French territories of his mother, Eleanor of Aquitaine, thus being more proficient in French and chivalric culture than in English affairs. From a young age, he was a military strategist and rebel, even allied with the King of France against his own father. Henry II, ascending the throne in 1189, his true ambition was not to rule, but the Crusades. To fund his expedition, he sold the assets of the British Empire as if his country were just an ATM machine. His peak was in the Third Crusade, where he faced Sultan Saladin. The Battle of Jaffa 1192 proved his bravery, with only 54 knights and 500 infantry. He defended the coast against thousands of enemy troops. Her relationship with Saladin was a respectful rivalry. They sent each other gifts and medical care, a rare ethic of war. However, Richard failed to capture Jerusalem and was forced to make peace. On his way home, he was arrested and thrown into prison by the Duke of Austria. The ransom was so great that his mother, Eleanor, had to extort the English people's tax to exempt him. During his captivity, his younger brother, Prince John, attempted to seize the throne. Once free, Richard preferred to fight in France to defend his inherited territories rather than rule England. His death came not on the great battlefield, but from an infectious wound from an arrow while besieging the small castle at Chalice in 1199. Richard left England almost bankrupt and a successor to John, who would become a bad king. However, his name is immortal as a symbol of knighthood and courage. It is proof that history often perpetuates myths and heroic images, although the reality of government is far from perfect. Richard is a legend built on the battlefield of others and is remembered not as an administrator, but as a fighter.